got to understand, most of these lawyers are having lunch with the prosecutors and the attorney general. You know, they're all in that close-knit group. You have to find a specialized attorney, somebody who deals in First Amendment rights, somebody that actually has read the Constitution and Bill of Rights and doesn't think that, you know, FEMA and these MIAC reports that are coming out demonizing people. Oh, he's got a pocket constitution. Might be a terrorist, Chris. I mean, that's the reality we live in for some reason. I wish that wasn't the reality we live in. But we had the mayor of Schenectady say that he might be for martial law. Is there any, you know, you're from the area, is there any reason that Schenectady should ever be under martial law, Chris?
Oh my gosh, of course not. You know, but it's not looking good. I know that.
All right, let's take some calls, my man. Let's see what people have to say out there. Remember, if you can help Chris, get at me on my Facebook. He gave out an email before. You can catch the podcast. By the way, if you forgot that if you miss any of the show, you can get the show over at the InfoWarrior.com following the program, or go to PrisonPlanet.tv and get the video. I think we're on. Who are we on here? Gary in Washington, guys. Are we on Gary? Let's go to Gary in Washington. Go ahead. You're on the line, Gary.
Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, listen, I got a couple tidbits of news for you, and then I got a big question for you. Mm-hmm. First piece of news, I just came back in internationally, Toronto Airport, and
I think I did.
They ask for your ticket 4 times. They have about 20 people patting people down, searching carry-ons. They tell you to take your second carry-on and return to the airline because you can't carry 2 carry-ons anymore. Then you get charged $20. Then they put you on a magnetic shoe tester. They take some kind of odd picture of you. I think freedom is over, zombie mania, and the sheep have to wake up. That's one piece of news for you, and I got 2 other things.
Okay.
Okay. The second one, Barry Soetoro, Hussein Obama will be visiting New Hampshire on Tuesday, and I think all the InfoWarriors ought to go meet with the media and ask some big questions, including what Big Herbert Walker was up to visiting Obama. And that's a little piece of news. That'll be Tuesday, February 2nd.
Okay, what's your final thing? Mm-hmm.
Third thing, big question for you. Alex does an amazing job with the money bomb. Amazing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, people keep saying, hey, you and Alex have woken us up, but what can we do? What can we do? I have 2 things I'd ask you. One, can you put information on the names and members and their bios of the New World Order on a page on your website, just to describe who these people are, what they're up to? What is the Bilderberg Group? Who are the members today? Mm-hmm. And then part 2, could you do a money bomb to start a class action suit to get us that $85,000 per citizen back that was stolen out of our treasury with the fake money, Jason?
Well, you know, about the lawsuit, I think that's going to be something that I don't see Alex Jones wanting to undertake anything law outside the office. It's a big headache. But the idea of profiling who these New World Order criminals are is a great one. And although we don't have individual profiles yet, we've talked about possibly doing a series of 45-minute documentaries, profiles on people like Henry Kissinger, Zbigniew Brzezinski, David Rockefeller, the Rothschild family, those things. That has been thrown around. Whether it'll actually get done or not, I mean, we are really small. I think that if you started a website like that, and it was good and it detailed it and it just kept people up to date, you know, we would link to it or we would go to stories on it. So, you know, take the bull by the horns, man. We can't do everything here. I appreciate the call. You know, one of the big things is getting active, is going out in your community. You know, you just talked about Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama. And for those that don't understand that his name is Barry Soetoro, you know, I had a clip that we couldn't find. We couldn't play it for some reason like 3 weeks ago, where John King goes to his old high school and admits that his name was Barry Soetoro on the clip. So there is no doubt the guy is a CIA creation. He's a front man for the same people that were in power under the Bush administration. You know, going back to my guest, Chris, has so much changed after the Obama administration has come? Is this the change that people voted for? Have you seen a change in the way the country is?
Absolutely not. I mean, it just seems like, you know, business as usual. More troops getting sent out, and it's just like another disguise. I mean, I hear even Alex talk about the false left-right paradigm, and once you're able to see through that, it kind of becomes obvious of what you're dealing with. You and
absolutely. But being in upstate New York, man, being in upstate New York, there were so many Obama heads. I mean, some people who I thought had a brain on their shoulders, people that had really started to wake up under the Bush administration, really thought that this guy was our Lord and Savior, Chris.
Oh yeah, and I can see, I feel for those people. It's hard. When you're conditioned for so long to, it's hard to lose heroes in life. You know what I mean? And that's hard. That's a hard thing for people to have their life invested in the morals and the things that our country supposedly stands for. And you know what I mean? And even a lot of times, you can put the truth right in somebody's face, but whether they're going to be able to grasp it and understand the reality of it is another thing. And I don't know. I mean, that's basically. I was very surprised. The whole thing with the Obama thing, I did notice that it was almost like a rock star type of thing. It was such a good distraction.
Well, not only is it a rock star thing, but especially in New York, you see like it's a hip-hop clothing thing. People are wearing Barack Obama T-shirts. It's not vote for Barack Obama. It's Barack Obama is Rolling Stone. Barack Obama is cool. On the other side, I want to finish up with Chris Quackenbush, who was really persecuted by New York State troopers for no reason other than tyranny, and get the lowdown on where this is going to go. We'll be back after this. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We are back. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, final segment with my buddy Chris Quackenbush, who has been really illegally persecuted by the police. If you want to help him out, give me an email over at my Facebook, facebook.com/theinfowarrior, myspace.com/Jason Bermas. Let me just get a rundown, Chris, on where it goes from here. When's your next court date? I want you to throw out the email again, but what's the process they're telling you at this point?
Basically, the next step is this Wednesday, I go to my first appearance. I'm assuming that's where we'll do the whole guilty, not guilty thing. Mm-hmm. And my plan is, of course, I'm going to plead not guilty and just ask for a trial and then move forward from there and see what happens. Hopefully, I didn't really understand, exactly. It's pretty serious to refuse the test. I guess it's going to be very difficult for me to have a shot at any kind of license once you do that. It's almost like a little mini crime within itself.
Yeah, that's exactly. They try to forcibly take your blood and urine and say, if you don't, we're just going to take your license. And it doesn't matter if you weren't on drugs. It doesn't matter if you weren't on PCP, heroin, and crystal meth. We're still going to impound your car, and we're going to proclaim you guilty. And not guilty until proven innocent, just guilty. You can't prove your innocence. So, you've got to demand the dash cam, because the cops will tell you all day until they're blue in the face that there is no dash cam. But once you identify that there were 3 police vehicles there, one of them had a dash cam. And unfortunately for the police, they do actually store that stuff. That stuff does go to storage. And you've got to demand that. You say, look, I want to see this. I want to see what I look like. I want to show people that I passed these sobriety tests and they had no right to bring me in the first place. And hopefully somebody out there who's a lawyer, who's listening to this program, fan of Alex Jones, fan of Jason Bermas, can help Chris Quackenbush out. Give out your email, Chris.
Hey, it's MUZICIZILL@yahoo.com.
Well, man, I'm really hoping for the best. I hope that you can not only get your car back, but after all is said and done, that you can sue the New York State Police Department for damages for taking your car, for trying to get your job, your livelihood taken away from you. And I think it's so important for people to realize that this can happen to anybody at any time. I mean, a week, 2 weeks ago, could you envision this situation, Chris?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, like I said, it went a yield sign to a life-changing situation in less than, an hour. It was just, I don't know, it just blew my mind. I've actually had run-ins with the police as a kid, you know what I mean, where they kind of were like, physically abused and stuff, but this has turned into a whole different thing. Like, they really, I feel kind of like let down and stuff that they really did get at me psychologically. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, that test, they put your finger in your face. Can't remember how many times they did that with me. Like, just kept follow my finger, like trying to hypnotize you or something. But I don't know. I really thought that they were on some kind of drugs the way they were acting. There was an injured falcon or something across the street, and the one officer comes up and said, like, do you know anything about falcons? Maybe you could help us out with the falcon across the street. And I'm like, is this a joke or something? Or like, what's going on here? You guys are like playing around with the iPod. He comes over and had this little like cassette tape adapter thing and play my iPod. And he's like, where'd you get this, man? It's pretty cool. And it's just really strange. The whole thing was bizarre to me. And I was like perfectly fine, exactly talking how I am now. And it's funny, too, because they really were like, boy, you really went downhill from this pitching license. It's like you look like a crystal meth addict or something. It's like, and
who are they to judge how you dress and how you look, Chris? It's unbelievable to me. Look, I'm wishing you the best. I hope we can help you out. We're going to come back, take your calls, and much more. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, InfoWars.com.